Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and, like usual, if this is your first time here, well, I guess if this is your first time here, it's not usual. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Turn on that bell, and the thumbs ups would be most appreciated. As you can tell, my energy level is not quite what it normally is because our Knicks, I don't know who this team is that showed up today. I don't know who the team is that showed up in Game 3 either. Actually, today's team actually resembled a little more the Knicks that we know than in Game 3. But still, I feel like they're kind of imposters right now. They're not moving the ball. They're not trusting each other. They're not shooting when they're open, which was, I believe, a mandate from Thibs. We saw little bits of it. There were some bright spots, which I'll get into. We'll go to the highlights. The Knicks lost 113-94. And what really, really, really sucks is they were there. They fought. The Hawks came out in the second half and really made the Knicks look bad, and the Knicks looked bad on their own by missing shots. But at some point, actually, with 5:41 left in the fourth quarter, we were only down by 7. It was 68-61. In today's NBA, that's nothing. That's 2 shots and it's 2 3-pointers with a 4-point play, and we're tied. But either way, it's a couple of possessions and you're back in it, a couple of stops on the defensive end. Instead, the opposite happened. And I really, I have to call out, unfortunately, in a negative way, our main guy, Julius Randle. Even though when you look at him on paper, he was 23, 10, and 7. That's pretty much his season average. The problem is he had 5 turnovers, and the way he got them just was not efficient. Here are the highlights from the first half. He took 19 shots. He did hit 2 of 4 from behind the 3-point line. But, the thing is, the whole problem is the 3-point line. The Hawks shot 15 of 39 from behind the arc. 15 to 39, and that's a 38.5%. It's right there. That's I think about league average. So it wasn't anything outstanding, but 39 is a good volume. Our volume, we only shot 29. We only shot 29 3-pointers and only hit 9 of them, 31%. So even though Julius went 2 for 4, I would rather he jacked up 3 more 3-pointers than those drives to the basket where he just blew bunnies left and right. And this time at least he got fouled. He got some foul calls sometimes, but by blowing the bunnies, he didn't get the and-ones. So the whole strategy of going to the bucket is to make the bucket. Getting the foul call is great, but that's not the full purpose of the intention of going to the bucket. You got to make the basket. In my mind, I know I'm going to be having nightmares of seeing a couple of those bunnies bouncing out or just not even coming even close. I know all season he hasn't really had that great efficiency at the rim all season, but this time I just felt different. It really felt like the whole series. Let's just put it this way: the whole series. It's just been big disappointment in that respect. One of the major positives, though, is Derrick Rose in the first half was sensational. I think he looked like some people say he looked gassed. That may be, but I think he might have something, some kind of little nagging something. I saw him when he was walking off. He was like, there was a little bit of a slight limp or something. I don't know. Maybe that was just his, oh man, we suck strut, or I don't know what it was, but something did not look right with him when he was leaving the court. But R.J. Barrett, 8 of 15, and one of those shots was a heave that he did at the end of a quarter that counted against him. He was 2 of 6 from behind the arc. At least he took 6. Again, I think that was a heave, one of them. So he would have been 2 of 5. Again, he should shoot more. We need more threes. He broke out. He had 21 points, 6 assists, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. He would have had even more assists if guys had made their shots. Guys like, and I had to call them out because this is the point here, Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, and Emmanuel Quickley. They were garbage. They were garbage today. And I'm sure they'll tell you on the offensive end. I'm sure they'd admit it themselves. They were a combined 4 of 19. 4 of 19. No, yeah, 4 of 19. And those 4 came from Alec Burks. Who he only had 1 assist. Burks came in to replace Rose. He was the sub in the first quarter, around the 3-something minute mark. He was the point, and he only had 1 assist. And when you look at the fact that there was a play when Obi did that interesting, drive to the hoop, he kind of, went around the block. Then he ended up, but he got the bucket. And then the next play, I believe there was a good defensive stop. It was a semi fast break. Obi was in the corner, wide open, and Burks comes up to the 3-point line and just looks him off, and then does a couple of dribble, and shot kind of a contested 3, bricked it. And now that's a momentum killer. Why not give it to Obi again? If Obi doesn't find it open, he'll pass it. He's a very willing passer. Obi is not someone who forces shots right now. Maybe he was earlier in the season when he was trying to find his game. Let's move into the second half. Well, here, look, we were winning, but then those plays by Trae Young, he burned us, but it wasn't a really bad burn. He took 21 shots. He was 4-14 from behind the 3-point line, but he had his 9 assists, 27 points. It was a typical. I totally live with this type of the Knicks giving up this type of production to Trae Young. I totally live with that. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is John Collins going off 6 of 10, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. Bogdanovich hit 4 of 9. Hit 4 of 9 from behind the arc. Oh man, and Gallinari actually from a 3-point he wasn't that great, 1 of 4, but man, the mid-range and his drives, he hurt us. 6 of 9 overall, 21 points. The Hawks had 3 guys over 20 points: Collins, Young, and Gallinari, and Bogdanovich. Now, Capella actually had an impact on this game, which he really had. Capella really hasn't been that impactful on the game in terms of his offense. We were doing okay in the rebounding at one point, but then it kind of got away from us. Overall, let's see here. So, rebounds, we got destroyed. They got 9 more bounds than we did. The assists ended up being even, 24 apiece. We were actually winning the assists battle in the first quarter, which it kind of explains why we won that quarter. Why we go away from assists, I don't know. I really don't understand it. What's the problem? Just do it. Make it happen. I'm confused by Julius Randle because I was worried about him. I was worried about him after game 3 because if you heard my other videos and stuff. It wasn't rationalizing, but it was just trying to gain an understanding of why his productivity was so low. And I was like, okay, he got caught up in the moment. He put a little too much pressure on himself for game 1. He was overhyped. He said he was overprepared. And even he said it. He admitted himself. He was overcome by the moment. And he said it himself. Those weren't his exact words, but there was an interview where he said that. So I was like, okay. So then game two he comes out, Game 2, we pulled the game out, which is, fantastic. I mean, this series would be done if we hadn't done that. But a lot of that, man, was Mr. Derrick Rose, 26 points. Julius only gave us 15 points in Game 2. 5 of 16, 2 of 7 from behind the arc. And it was more, that was a nice all-around team effort, other than, Julius not giving us the production that we normally need. But, Reggie, Bullock had 15 points. Burks had 11 points. RJ had a 13 point. It was spread out all around, and they played great defense in that one. I can't say we played great defense today. We did not. I thought on Friday we played better defense than the results showed. Yeah, we allowed 105 points, but we played pretty good defense. Today, nah. I mean, 113 points is not like they lit us up, but when you're having trouble scoring, that's way too many points to give up. So Julius, I was really worried about him because, the Game 3 response, that's when he should have come out. That's when he should have come out and really inflicted his pain onto the Hawks, like he did all regular season. And he did not. 2 of 15 on Friday. 2 of 15. Are the Knicks going to respond for Game 5? I think, there's a good chance. There's a good chance they're going to respond. It's what you play for. The regular season, the reason we have home field advantage is because they took care of business against Atlanta. We swept them 3-0. So this is what they fought for this exact situation. So obviously we would have rather have been coming back up 3-1 or even a split, obviously, but we're down 3-1. Game 5 is at the Garden. It's going to be insane. It's going to be electrifying. Going to be completely, it's going to be the wonderful arena that it always is to play. And hopefully, the little bit of signs of life that we saw from Randle will carry over, and he'll actually be able to improve upon it. Because what we need from Randle, we need a 35-plus point game from Julius. Just the way our team is structured. We can't depend on the role players to give us 20 points each. That's just not going to happen. We got a nice performance from Burks in Game 1. But since then, we really haven't, not much. Now, Rose gave us some excellent production, but then look what happened in this game. The second half, he only got 2 points. 2 points the whole second half, Derrick Rose. It's something that, obviously I'm concerned. I'm concerned because, they're just not showing the fight that we've seen this year. The Hawks really, really took it out of them in that second half. I'm hoping that they come home, they shake this off, and they can pull out this win in Game 5. But I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not interested in just any kind of win. I'm interested in how they win this game. If the Knicks play their best and the Hawks play their best and the Knicks win because our defense is better, then I'm going to get very excited. Then I'm going to get hype again. Right now, I'm not hype. No. Because if we win again like we did Game 2, we're going to go down to Atlanta and drop Game 6. That's just how I see it. Of course, anything can happen, and I'm not wishing that. I'm just saying it's what I've seen. It's what we saw. That game, you would have thought that the momentum of that Game 2 victory would have just flowed them into Game 3. It was only one day off in between. It's what they were normally used to with their bodies, and their the way the whole season has been. They could have just gone down to Atlanta and taken care of business on Friday in Game 3, and they didn't. Man, that is so depressing. But you know what? At the same time, it's still awesome to even be experiencing this pain right now. We could be Detroit, just thinking about the draft. but we're not. We're thinking about Game 5 on Wednesday, and let's hope the Knicks take care of it. Let's hope they come out and they play their best. That's what we want from them. You know, role players got to step up, and RJ, I believe, is going to continue having a good game, and now we need Randle. All right, thank you so much. Again, subscribe, bell, thumbs up, and I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.